Om. Om. ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् प्रातः स्मरामि हृदि संस्फुरदात्मतत्त्वम् सच्चित्सुखं परमहंसगतिं तुरीयम् यत्स्वप्नजागर सुषुप्तमवेति नित्यम् तद्ब्रह्म निष्कलमहं न च भूतसङ्घः तीर्त्वा मोहार्णवं हत्वा रागद्वेषादिराक्षसान् योगी शान्तिसमायुक्तः आत्मा रामो विराजते बाह्यानित्यसुखासक्तिं हित्वात्मसुखनिवृत्तः घटस्तदीपवत् घटस्तदीपवत् स्वस्थः स्वान्तरेव प्रकाशते उपाधिस्थोऽपि तद्धर्मैः अलिप्तो व्योमवन्मुनिः सर्वविन्मूढवत्तिष्ठेत् असक्तो वायुवच्चरेत् उपाधिविलयाद् विष्णु निर्विशेषं विशेन्मुनिः जले जलं वियद्व्योम्नि तेजस्तेजसि वा यथा यल्लाभान्नापरो लाभः यत्सुखान्नापरं सुखम् यज्ञानात्नापरं ज्ञानं तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारयेत् यद्दृष्ट्वा नापरं दृश्यं यद्भूत्वा न पुनर्भवः यज्ञात्वा नापरं ज्ञेयं तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारयेत् तिर्यगूर्ध्वमधः पूर्णं सच्चिदानन्दमद्वयम् अनन्तं नित्यमेकं यत् तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारयेत् अतद्व्यावृत्तिरूपेण वे वेदान्तैर्लक्ष्यते द्वयम् अखण्डानन्दमेकं यत् तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारयेत् अखण्डानन्दरूपस्य तस्यानन्दलवाश्रिताः ब्रह्माद्यास्तारतं येन भवन्त्यानन्दिनोऽखिलाः तद्युक्तमखिलं वस्तु व्यवहारस्तदन्वितः तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म क्षीरे सर्पिरिवाखिले तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म क्षीरे सर्पिरिवाखिले अनन्वस्तूलमह्रस्वम् अदीर्घमजमव्ययम् अरूपगुणवर्णाख्यं तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारयेत् यद्भासा भास्यते कादि भास्यैर्युक्तो न भास्यते यद्भासा भास्यते कादि भास्यैर्युक्तो न भास्यते येन सर्वमिदं भाति तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारयेत् स्वयमन्तर्बहिर्व्याप्य भासयन्नखिलं जगत् ब्रह्म प्रकाशते वह्निः प्रतप्तया प्रतप्ताया प्रतप् ब्रह्म प्रकाशते वह्निः प्रतप्तायव पिण्डवत् जगद्विलक्षणं ब्रह्म ब्रह्मणोऽन्यन्न किञ्चन ब्रह्मान्यभाति चेन्मिथ्या यथा मरुमरीचिका दृश्यते श्रूयते यद्यत् ब्रह्मणोऽन्यन्न तद्भवेत् ततत् तत्त्वज्ञानाच्च तद्ब्रह्म सच्चिदानन्दमद्वयम् सर्वगं सच्चिदात्मानं ज्ञानचक्षुर्निरीक्ष्यते अज्ञानचक्षुर्नेक्ष्येत भास्वन्तं भानुमन्धवत् श्रवणादिभिरुद्दीप्तः ज्ञानाग्निर्परितापितः जीवः सर्वमलान्मुक्तः स्वर्णे विद्यते तते स्वयं हृदाकाशोदितो ह्यात्मा बोधभानुस्तमोपहृत् सर्वव्यापी सर्वधारी भाति भासयतेऽखिलम् दिग्देशकाल दिग्देशकालाद्यनपेक्ष्य सर्वगं शान्ति दिह्रन्नित्यसुखं निरञ्जनं यस्वात्मा तीर्थं भजते विनिष्क्रियः स सर्ववित् सर्वगतो मृतो भवेत् इति शंकराचार्य विरचित आत्मबोधः समाप्तः। दिग्देशकालाद्यनपेक्ष सर्वगं शीतादिहृन्नित्यसुखं निरञ्जनं यस्वात्मतीर्थं भजते विनिष्क्रियः स सर्ववित् सर्वगतो मृतो भवेत्। ओम तत्सत्। You need someone to share screen, is it? I just saw the message.
Yeah, just a minute, Brahmara. It has
Yeah.
been connected now. Give me 2 minutes, please.
Oh, no problem.
Mrinalji or Dr. Savita, could you please guide which shloka are we in now?
Yeah, just I think we did 65, and then I'll see the text. One sec. We have to do 66 today. 66, no, we did 66. We have to do 67. We did this, no? Shravan Manan Nididhyasnam. 67 we have to start today.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'll just read the last paragraph of 66. Spiritual discipline is intended to clean the mind of its impurities. As such, removal of the ignorance, avidya alone, enables the revelation of the absolute truth. It is a spontaneous experience of one's own self, and an earnest seeker after truth who is able to kindle the fire of knowledge in his pure bosom and who is free from doubts and fears realizes the self in him. So, the egocentric personality, Jivatman, has to rid itself of its own limitations when it rediscovers its real nature as the eternal self. The ore, as it comes up from the gold mines, the ore as it comes up from the gold mines is mixed up with a lot of impurities, and when the washed off gold is heated and poured in, its molten brilliance acquires to itself its real glory and beauty. So too the individuality, when heated in meditation and the molten self is poured out, it comes to shine in its essential, immortal contents. So beautiful. हृदाकाशोदितो ह्यात्मा बोधभानुस्तमोपहृत सर्वव्यापी सर्वधारी भाति भासयतेऽखिलम्. Hridakashoditah, which rises in the sky of the heart. He, verily, Atma, the Atman, Bodhabhanuhu, the son of knowledge, Tamah, darkness, Apahruta, destroys, Sarvavyapi, which is pervading everything, Sarvadhari, sustains all, Bhati, shines, bhasayate, makes to shine. Akhilam, everything. Hridakashoditah, he, Atma, bodhabhanuh, tamah, apahrita, sarvavyapi, sarvadhari, bhati, bhasayate, akhilam. The Atman, the sun of knowledge that rises in the sky of the heart, destroys the darkness of the ignorance, pervades and sustains all, and shines and makes everything to shine. I repeat, the Atman, the sun of knowledge that rises in the sky of the heart, destroys the darkness of the ignorance, pervades and sustains all, and shines and makes everything to shine. Hridaya is generally translated as the heart. Here, the term is not to mean the biological organ that pumps the blood, but here it means that arena in the mental field from where the noble and the human thoughts gurgle up and flow. The term heart here is used in the same sense in which we call a man of love and goodness as a man of heart. When there is ethical purity and moral goodness, then alone in that bosom can spiritual unfoldment and the consequent divine experiences come. As at the approach of dawn, the darkness rolls off, and the light of its own glory brings everything clearly to our cognition, so too at the dawn of wisdom, all knowledge bursts up to our awareness. Beautiful. I repeat the whole once again. The Atman, the sun of knowledge that rises in the sky of the heart, destroys the darkness of the ignorance, pervades and sustains all, and shines and makes everything to shine. Hridaya is generally translated as the heart. Here, the term is not to mean the biological organ that pumps the blood, but here it means that arena in the mental field from where the noble and the human thoughts gurgle up and flow. The term heart here is used in the same sense in which we call a man of love and goodness as a man of heart. When there is ethical purity and moral goodness, then alone in that bosom can spiritual unfoldment and the consequent divine experiences come. As at the approach of dawn, the darkness rolls off, and the light of its own glory brings everything clearly to our cognition, so too at the dawn of wisdom, all knowledge bursts up to our awareness. So once the antakarana becomes pure, then everything that sun within the bosom, it shines its own glory, and everything outside looks clear. Just like the in the previous shloka, the example of the gold, which when comes from the mine, it is in a raw form. But when it's heated, all the impurities are removed. In the same way, when the sadhaka has undergone all those tapas, sadhana, satsang, and he has come out of his raga and dvesha, then his antakarana becomes pure and he will be able to see the whole creation as its own manifestation, and it shines on its own. Very beautiful shloka. Please share your understanding. Should I read further? I think we are towards the end of the Atma bodha, and those 20 qualities which we discussed yesterday, I think they are also very, very important. Every moment we have to bring them to our practice. Amanitvam, ahimsa. Anyone wants to share? Okay, I think this is the last shloka. Kindly. Yeah, okay, Dr. Ren. Yeah. दिग्देशकालाद्यनपेक्ष्य सर्वगम् शीतादिरन्नित्यसुखं निरञ्जनम् यस्वात्मतीर्थं भजते विनिष्क्रियः स सर्ववित् सर्वगतो मृतो भवेत् इत्यात्मबोधः समाप्तः. Digdesha Kaladi, direction, space and time, anapeksha, not depending upon, sarvagam, which is present everywhere, shitadihruta, which destroys cold, etc., nitya sukham, which is bliss eternal, niranjanam, which is stainless, yaha, who, Swatma Tirtham, the holy place of his own Atman, Bhajate, worships, Vinishkriyaha, renouncing all activities, Saha, he, Sarvavita, all knowing, Sarvagataha, all pervading, Amritaha, immortal, Bhavet, becomes. Digdeshakaladi anapekshya sarvagam शीतादिहृत नित्यसुखं निरञ्जनं यः स्वात्मतीर्थं भजते विनिष्क्रियः सः सर्ववित् सर्वगतः अमृतः भवेत्. He who renouncing all activities, who is free of all the limitations of time, space, and direction, worships his own Atman, which is present everywhere, which is the destroyer of heat and cold, which is bliss eternal and stainless, becomes all knowing and all pervading, and attains thereafter immortality. I repeat, he who renouncing all activities, who is free of all the limitations of time, space, and direction, worships his own Atman, which is present everywhere, which is the destroyer of heat and cold, which is bliss eternal and stainless, becomes all-knowing and all-pervading, and attains thereafter immortality. Whether the sea is stormy or calm, the sun always shines on it. Similarly, the pure Atman, the truth which is behind time, space, and causality, which is all pervading, which has no duality, which is the pure consciousness in all awareness, which is the substratum on which all these pluralistic things play about. That is the one consciousness which illumines the entire creation. Without it, nothing will exist anywhere. Know that to be your own self. He who renounces all his desires and activities, his attachments, likes and dislikes, and his very contact with the life of this ephemeral world of objects, and he who is ever at the shrine of the Atman, striving with determination to enjoy the bliss of his own self, that Mahatman becomes all knowing, all pervasive, Brahman itself. There is immortality for him, for having reached that and having begun to experience that which has no beginning and end, he too becomes immortal. The dreamer, when he ends his dreams and wakes up, becomes himself the waker, the limited ego on transcending the mind intellect equipment becomes itself the immortal Brahman. Om Tat Sat. I repeat once again. He who renouncing all activities, who is free of all the limitations of time, space, and direction, worships his own Atman, which is present everywhere, which is the destroyer of heat and cold, which is bliss eternal and stainless, becomes all knowing and all pervading, and attains thereafter immortality. Whether the sea is stormy or calm, the sun always shines on it. Similarly, the pure Atman, the truth which is behind time, space, and causality, which is all pervading, which has no duality, which is the pure consciousness in all awareness, which is the substratum on which all these pluralistic things play about. That is the one consciousness which illumines the entire creation. Without it, nothing will exist anywhere. Know that to be your own self. He who renounces all his desires and activities, his attachments, likes and dislikes, and his very contact with the life of this ephemeral world of objects, and he who is ever at the shrine of the Atman, striving with determination to enjoy the bliss of his own self, that Mahatman becomes all knowing, all pervasive Brahman itself. There is immortality for him, for having reached that and having begun to experience that which has no beginning and end, he too becomes immortal. The dreamer, when he ends his dreams and wakes up, becomes himself the waker. The limited ego, on transcending the mind intellect equipment, becomes itself the immortal Brahman. Oh, that's it. So the Jivan Mukta.
Didi, can you please read this paragraph again?
Yeah. He who renounces all his desires and activities, his attachments, likes and dislikes, and his very contact with the life of this ephemeral world of objects, and he who is ever at the shrine of the Atman, striving with determination to enjoy the bliss of his own self, that Mahatman becomes all knowing, all pervasive Brahman itself. There is immortality for him, for having reached that and having begun to experience that which has no beginning and end. He too becomes immortal. The dreamer, when he ends his dreams and wakes up, becomes himself the waker. The limited ego, on transcending the mind intellect equipment, becomes itself the immortal Brahman. So that knowledge becomes experiential, and he starts enjoying the one who is that Mahatman, that Jivan Mukta. He has realized that one truth which is all knowing, all pervasive, Brahman, and he realizes and experiences that it is he himself is that which is all pervading in and through the whole creation, beyond the time, space, and causality. Yeah, please share. It is so beautiful. I'm so glad Dr. Brahmara is back. We have been missing you so much, my dear.
Jai Gurudev. Yeah, so this whole sadhana is about polishing ourselves, polishing and polishing so that the antakarna becomes so pure, rid of all the impurities, the dvandvas, so that the true nature shines forth. And it's just a thought that when we talk of Jivan Mukta, it seems like it is someone different. But each one of us has the potential and capacity to be a Jivan Mukta. Like Gurudev said, each one of you has a capacity to be a Buddha, to be enlightened. So rather than make it impersonal, make it personal. I mean, when I am, instead of saying he, if we can say I or we, that will be inclusive rather than, something which is like remote from us. It is, in fact, the whole truth is, it, it's walking, talking, and it is available for us. It's just that we are not able to perceive it. So when there is enough purification happening inside, just like the dawn dispels the darkness, that truth of the light of the self shines forth in each one of us. All this is on one aspect when we are learning and reading this knowledge. But then when we go out in the world of interaction, the world, transactional world, it is but natural that our old vasanas, our limitations keep coming up. So our effort there is to step back and make an effort to remain with this knowledge that I am beyond all of this. Otherwise, Maya is so powerful that it will just overshadow all this conceptual knowledge. All of us have conceptual knowledge so far, isn't it? It hasn't become our own experience. It has not become our own right till now. The aparokshanubhuti has not happened. So till such time, the effort will be to ensure that we are not caught up in this in the web of Maya. And for that, the only sword is knowledge. So with this knowledge that, the Nirvana Shatakam, Atma Shatakam, remembering that every time we get stuck in some limitation, it could be the body, mind, intellect, ego, in any of these equipments, when we get stuck, so this is what will help. Yeah. We'll allow everybody else also to share.
Yeah, Hari Om. Also, like you've said very well, Dr. Brahmra, like also when some disturbance happens relating to any, like a person, situation, anything, also that when that experience is we are having some experience, then if it causes disturbance in our mind, then it is like that that disturbance you get aware of, and then when you contemplate on that, why is it that my mind is getting disturbed, then you very soon come back to that reality. So it's happening now. Like initially we weren't able to decipher like what is, why I am feeling so miserable inside, why is it so. And but now it is, this thing has become more clear. Like whenever some disturbance come, you suddenly go into that contemplation, why I'm feeling this way, what is the reason. And when you reason out and go to that base, then that comes out, and then you, with the help of that knowledge, you help to get it over. This is like it started happening. So it's very beautiful that through these 2 years almost now, I think more than 2 years. So this knowledge has helped, I think, everyone to take the situations very like to analyze and to get over the situations easily. But rather, it was very initially it was very, you could not figure out why is it so, why I'm feeling so bad. Yeah, just wanted to share this, that contemplation is so important, like in the morning or in any time of the day happening.
No sound, please. No audio.
No one is speaking at present, I think. All are in contemplation. Atma bodha was very like
Actually, knowledge is helping every day, and every day we things we have grasped the knowledge. We are able to means I am able to control my senses or my reactions. But when we go to the transactional world, we just burst sometimes because we are not able to whatever is happening around, we are not in control of that things, and it makes impact on our mind again. So we have to come back to our core again. That knowledge helps, and it is a daily practice. So it is a long journey, and our desires and our activities. Every time when we are in a world, transactional world, every day some desire is coming. Every small desire is taking us away from that tattva. So it is not possible to be really desireless. But getting attached to their desires will we will get entangled in Maya. So every now and then we should remember this is a Maya, this is a Maya, and get because of the Maya, everything is happening. Then only we get solace.
Yeah, again, the knowledge is helping us out, no? It is the knowledge that you are saying it is the Maya, it is the Maya. So this is the knowledge we gained.
And taking refuge in that five five sentences. I am the Tattvamasi, I am that, and all that. It really makes us serene. Right that moment.
I think it is the interplay of the gunas whole day, which one is going up and one is going down, that plays us. So it is if we can.
But when we react that time, we don't remember really this is play of gunas. But after some moment, we get realized that it is because of this thing, this has happened. And then we let go.
Yeah, but reactions also don't occur instantaneously now, no? You still have you that awareness comes.
Yeah, correct.
Suddenly
Still
that comes. Yeah. So that reactions are not happening so fast as they were They are not instantaneous now. They have to react. Also, you get
there is a pause now, and then reaction.
Yeah, and that thought comes by this. So then you just go into that analysis and contemplation, and then you say a word or so. That this thing is happening now, which was not initially. Yeah.
See, although everything is a happening, on one side you look at everything as happening and you're the non-doer. But in order to come out of this avidya, the shackles of avidya and maya, that little bit of effort is required, which is what Swamiji mentions here. Who is ever at the shrine of the Atman, striving with determination to enjoy the bliss of his own self. So that little purushartha has to be there from our side. Number one, we have to be morally and ethically sound, pure at heart. So for all that, from when you look at Patanjali Yoga Sutras, the Ashtanga Yoga, Yama, Niyama, all those are so important for us to be ethical, to be pure, So those are the initial, so to say, steps. And then the deeper cleansing happens when we continue to pursue this without doubt. Yoga, pranayam, all of that helps in giving us this pause, like what we were discussing just now. The pause before we react. The pause before we say anything. That the ability to respond rather than react. So yoga helps, pranayama, dhyana, all our Sudarshan Kriya, all that will help in creating more and more awareness. And then finally, regular constant practice of dhyana coupled with knowledge will, that Brahma Bhyasa happens like that, Brahmara Kitavat. You are with this knowledge constantly, contemplating, doing Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. Then finally, when that there is enough clarity in the mirror, or in Antakarana is cleansed to that extent that there is nothing else but the self that shines forth. So this can take a long time. It can happen immediately. Achirena dhigacchati. So we don't need to be discouraged saying, oh, lot of cleansing to do. Who knows? We don't know when that eureka moment happens for anyone. But of course, constantly we need to be at this with that determination, that titiksha, determination, and that or using all those 4 pillars of knowledge: viveka, vairagya, samadhi, shat sampatti. And of course, we're all here because of the mumukshutva. Like Charna would say, that has to be the topmost priority in your, that has to be your priority. Everything else comes after that, which is what Gurudev says. He says, keep spirituality as your priority. Everything else will fall in place. But we tend to keep that in the lower, we keep everything else in the top priority list. So prioritizing this Atma Vishaya, Atma Jnana as uppermost, and then everything else, all our remaining duties, responsibilities. So this actually becomes our Swadharma. Realizing and recognizing our own true nature, that is our utmost Swadharma.
Yes, you guys are all talking about it. I don't know, today I just want to be quiet, so
Yeah.
I don't feel like even opening my mouth. Oh, gosh.
Which is what in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Swadharme nidhanam shreyaha paradharmo bhayavaha. So it's, death in this pursuit of Swadharma is better than pursuing paradharma. So getting into the world of Maya becomes paradharma.
Mhm.
Pursuing the truth, pursuing self-knowledge becomes our Swadharma.
Yeah. Some days are like that, good. But then, like, I think 3-4 weeks ago, I usually used to go on Fridays to volunteer at the temple, to making the garlands for the gods and goddesses. I mean, I help them. Some of them I make. And then one day, they put in a WhatsApp saying, oh, we are going to do it today for the Ram Navami. So I go there. I had to drive almost an hour to get there. And then I go there, and then she says, oh, we don't have that much flowers today. As soon as I got there, and then this is what she says, who are the, like somebody who is overseeing all of that. I mean, she could say something at that time, immediately you feel like what happened, like I come, you could have said that in the notes itself, we only need so many people and driving all the way. And then afterwards, okay, then I said, okay, fine, I'll go to the temple and worship and then go home. No, no, you have lunch and then go. Maybe if you want, go bring lunch for everybody. And then I said that I did that also. And then one of the other people said, oh, don't just go now, just have lunch and then go. That day I felt really, you know, upset, meaning like, there are things to do, but then that lady could have said nicely, that's how I was thinking like that. Then after coming home, yeah, we shouldn't think like that. I mean, that's a normal reaction, right? Like normally that what we do, but with this knowledge, I shouldn't be thinking like that. That let it go and just do what you can and not worry about it. But that day, this is one of those things, like you can realize that what your ego is picking, and that got hurt, and they could have said that, but I didn't even think it was my ego, but it was more of, I have a kind of a goal that I want to do this, and then get that get not fulfilled, right? I mean, you can call it as a desire, or it can call this is something that you want to do, the seva, and you're coming all the way and taking the time and driving over there and all these things. And so this is what I want to bring to the play, to you guys. See, this kind of things uh, uh, it took me a couple of days, to get over it and said, okay, what do I do now? Should I go or not go anymore, or what should I do? Like, that kind of stuff. Of course, after that, the next 2 Fridays I had an appointment, other things, so I couldn't go anyway. But um, I sent a message saying I still in the group, but I'm just saying like this is what's happening sometimes. And so this is where I feel like the ego is acting. Um, and another place is like where Maya is acting whenever I have a urge to watch some TV, so that I feel take away your time, that 1 hour or something you're watching some fun movie or something. That, I said, oh, you know, it's keeping me away from this thing I want to do like that. I can understand, I realizing it, but then trying to getting out becomes difficult, that sometimes, even though I knew it. And so there I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should do more sadhana and try to get out of this, getting more sense control and mind control and all that. So this is where I am with the stuff.
Thank you for sharing, Dr. Mara.
Yeah.
If I can just add to what you had mentioned, that
Uh-huh.
the fact that you drove that 1 hour to go there and then to realize and be told that there are not enough flowers, so there was no need. Few things. One, there are lots of takeaways from there that we can actually use given such a
Right.
situation in the future. One
Yeah,
is
yeah,
to
go ahead.
accept the
Yeah, it's not
situation.
only that time, it's
Yeah.
always like that, but I never mind about, when it is flowers, mean these people are coming for like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, they say, right? And I just went a year ago. So I get to do like cut the flowers. Like I said, whatever, however, whatever you're doing, it's still going on top of God only. So
Correct.
it's okay. Even if I don't like malar, you make it garland with the thread and all that, then now I say, okay, at the end, give me a chance to do a small mala or something like that. And I tend to do one or two for Navagraha or something. They do it for all the deities, other deities. But I said, okay, whatever you give, that's fine. So then, as you said, like one thing, after calm down and everything, what happened. Okay, it doesn't matter whatever the chore they give, you just do it happily. That's what you have to think like that. And that's only thing I couldn't have this kind of goal to have with this that, but it's all seva. You have to think that that way, so you're not thinking that you have to make mala like that,
Yeah.
unless you're taking your own flowers and do it. So
Right.
that is how I
So
came up after 2 weeks.
then, yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice that you did all this internal talk and you were processing the whole experience, which is what we all have to do.
Right.
One is to accept the situation there, and
Yeah.
rather than accept it passively, you can have informed. You can tell that whoever the coordinator is to just message in the group whenever there's no seva required. You could have prioritized some other work, so that letting her know that
Yeah.
if she could have done that, then you would have averted the situation. Number two is karmane vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. You set out to go to the temple, drove that 1 hour, so you did all that karma, that action went, but the result is not in our hands. The
Right.
result is something which is ordained by dharma,
By
by
the God.
Ishvara, by,
Ishvara,
isn't
yeah.
it? So karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu kada. You set out with the idea, yes, I'm going to go there to make garlands. But when there was no need to make garlands because there were not many flowers, there
Yeah.
was an interplay of raga there. Raga was to, yes, I want to do this. But then the end result there was no need. So immediately when that raga is not fulfilled, the desire is not fulfilled, we tend to get angry, and that negative spiral happens. We tend
Yeah.
to become caught up in our in the moha and the delusion, and then in that we lose our uh, awareness, and
Yeah.
then krodha becomes. So there is that little element of anger that springs forth there. So
True.
if we
Yeah.
were to accept that situation and take it as prasada, oh, I drove all this way, there was no garlands to do, but I can actually spend some time with the in the presence of the devotees or in the temple. That prasada buddhi will avert that negative spiral. Otherwise, every moment, any situation, it is about whether you scale up positively or go down the negative spiral. So that
Right.
determination to enjoy the bliss of the self is holding on to knowledge there, and taking everything as prasada. Not
Yeah.
passively, of course, you let her know in a nice way, tell her, so that,
Yeah.
not just you, everybody else who is in that situation doesn't get uh, disappointed.
Yeah, the attitude is different, right? I mean, we have a little bit different, like we want to be treated equally and all that kind of expectation. But then there it isn't. So even though they have, it's not like they don't have powers, they do, but then it
Some
is
buttons are
reserved for,
pushed.
right, somebody, right? And then, so I said, I have to, like you said, I have to accept that situation. So this is how it's going to be. I cannot change that because that's how it's going to be. But then later on, somebody brought some kumquat, like some other like green leaves. Then they said, well, you can make this. So I kind of made a couple of them. At least God finds a way to do something, right? So I went and brought lunch for everyone. Like they make food in the kitchen, so I brought that, and everybody had lunch. Uh, and then they had this mala, a couple of them I made that they could use it for something. So the reason I'm telling you that, that situation arises uh, almost most of the time, unless you're coming across somebody, they may not do it that way. But like you said, those 5 points, right? One is the accept the situation as it is, but then you want to let them know, in the sense, yeah, I did make her. I mean, I did say, at least, it'd be nice to say, and then they acknowledge the point. Yeah, this happens, and we just spend time with friends and have fun and whatnot. So, everybody has their own priorities and things like that. I could use that time a little bit better if I did not do that or something like that. That's how then it becomes, oh, I'm thinking more selfish this part, this way or that way or like that, so I just like wanted to uh, not feel bad about myself, like, in the sense what I'm doing here. But at the same time, I want to have that, respect for somebody's time, and at least the person who is doing it should allow herself to be known for all this other people's time and how they can utilize their thing and all that. That's Then I said, okay, let go. You want to volunteer, you go and volunteer. You don't want to do that, then don't do it. So either way, it's so. Then I kind of came in terms with that. Um, so it's fine now. So I should know how to deal with it when I go next time.
Can anyone remember that shloka in which it is explained when the water is very steady and a small mm, stone falls and all
Yeah,
pearls
yeah, yeah. I
that,
understand.
and again that
Yeah.
the small um,
The water will find a way
renu
to
of
go around it,
sand goes
around the
inside your
hurdles and
eye.
stuff. Yeah.
Small renu means small sand particles goes and you cannot see the things. How this vision blurs like that. When you both means when the discussion was happening, these two shlokas, I don't
Mm.
remember that shlokas, but the meaning were coming up.
Yeah, I understand, like that the water, doesn't matter, it will flow through the hurdles and it reaches the point, reaches the ocean. And like that, when we are at that kind of goal, hopefully things will happen better, for better. And I still volunteer as a doctor as well, and the health clinic on Saturdays at the temple. So whenever I get chance to do that, I'll do that as well. So either way, I do something in the temple. That it gives me a chance to go and visit. It usually happens on Fridays, so then I go and worship, temple when it's not too crowded. That also another advantage of going to do the mala for that on Fridays. Yeah.
Another thing is to realize also that everybody has the potential to do everything, no doubt.
Mm.
But each one of us has some gifts. We are good at certain things. We may not be good at everything. Like you don't
True.
expect a fish to climb the tree. Similarly, there are people who can cook very well. I know in this group we have Bela and Rinal, people that I know. I mean, there may be several other great cooks. They cook so well. So I would love to cook as much as well as they do, but it might not be possible for me. So also understanding our own, I wouldn't call it limitation, our understanding our own capacities. It is not that anyone, no, each one of us has the ability to excel in everything, no doubt. But in this in the limitation of time and um, physical world that we live in, it is an impossible task to think that, okay, I want to excel in everything. You're good at something, you stay with that. And like they say that in the construction of the temple, every aspect is important. So each one is contributing in some way or the other. Even in the seva of a temple, your presence there itself, I mean, bringing that food, you contributed that way. So it is okay. I mean, if you're not good at one thing, doesn't matter actually. So don't need to feel, let down or look down upon yourself. It is fine.
It's
It
not,
is good.
you're right. I mean, I don't do it myself. When I know, when I want to do something, I will do it. It's like
Yeah.
whether it's cooking or the flower, without knowing, I would not even gone for that purpose, right?
Right.
And so it's just one of those things. Even if you don't know, I can learn it. It's not like it's big Kamba Sutra, like, but there are certain things, like you said, how they make the mala in the flower shops, in the stores, back back home, they do it with their hand like that. That would be difficult for me. But something you do it with the needle and thread, that's not that difficult to do. But anyway, just to brought
OMG,
that point because of that,
OMG Mara and Brahmaraji,
uh,
OMG for all of you. On the
uh,
top of it, see, through your profession, how much highest level of seva you are doing to the society through looking after
well,
their health.
only now that I started, because I am not going to work at this point. I retired about almost a year ago after my surgery. I didn't go back to work because I take care of my grandkids two times a week. I babysit my grandson. My daughter has to take care of other child, so I have to help her out, and then I do this on Fridays, and so once a month or something, whenever they have a need, then I do the clinic like that. In the meantime, I like to look for something else that I my own classes, and our class this evenings and Saturday, trying to have the Sanskrit. I just started with learning the letters and stuff. So that keeping up with the medical stuff also, reading my own things.
Jai
Thank you,
Gurudev, we
thank
have,
you. Yeah.
thank you for sharing. I mean, these are
No,
what,
this is what I wanted to share, Dr. Pramara, and I mean, like yesterday we brought out the point, like when we are reading the sloka, like how our discipline. I was telling I couldn't do consistently the sadhana. One day I do in the morning, one day I do in the afternoon. It's not like happening like at the set time, because several things keep happening, at home. And myself, I suffer from this neuralgia pain, and sometimes I can't wake up in the morning. It's just too many things. So that is the reason I said, like, we should have some class without any recording, so that I'll feel free to talk about some other things. Anyway, thank you so much for your listening to me.
yeah, I remember your idea. We'll still make that happen. Today we finished, we completed Atma bodha. So
Right.
I would suggest that we have about 18 minutes. Maybe we can play, unless anyone wants to share anything, we can play the Brahmajnana Vali Mala and Nirvana Shatakam, and then just meditate for about 5 minutes. And then we'll close at 6:30 in 18 minutes from now. Tomorrow, before we have our commitment to complete the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita still. So before we
Right.
do that, I thought maybe tomorrow we can chant the whole of the Atma bodh. We can go shloka by shloka and just read the meanings. So that will take
Sure.
at least about an hour or so. And then from day after tomorrow, that is from
Tuesday.
from Wednesday, yeah, your Tuesday, our Wednesday, we can begin. We can enter the portals of the 18th chapter.
Okay.
of the Bhagavad Gita.
Mrinalji, you send me the Ashtavakra Gita. It's at 9 p.m., right? It's India time.
Yeah, India time. That's right.
Okay,
That would be 9 in the morning for you.
yeah, in the morning. So
Yesterday it
today
started. Yeah, it will be there today as well.
is that 6th, right? That means tomorrow. I thought. Oh my God. Oh, like today evening. I thought 6th means we are 5th night for us. Like 6th morning there. Like 6th evening would be tomorrow morning for me. 12 hours difference.
Yeah, tomorrow morning you'll be able to see the first session. Yesterday was the introductory session.
Oh, they
Yeah.
had the introductory already.
Guruji told the story about how about the
Mm.
Janaka, about his dream. I think it should be there on the YouTube. I haven't checked later on, but
Yeah,
I
it is
already,
actually there. You can go through that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, is
Okay, okay.
anybody able to share Brahma Jnana Valimala? The beloved.
Yes, Brahmaraji, I will
Yeah,
share.
okay.
I will share the Nirvana Shatakam I will have to find. Just
Okay.
but Brahma
Then in that
Jnanavali
case,
right now.
yeah, we'll just do Brahma Jnana Valimala, and before that, we'll chant the Shanti part.
Before we start, Brahmaraji, one request. At least I want to learn, and many more from our group also. They want to by heart this Atma bodha and Dvichatvarimshat from the Nanaji's, Raman Maharshiji's.
Right.
So kindly guide us. How do we do that? If we can form a small group as per the convenience of others, and then if you guide us, then we can every day we can practice.
I think we can get on net, like we had Bhajagovindam. Maybe there will be some resource where you have an opportunity to learn using an aid. Let's check on the net. If not, we'll see. Maybe I can or ask Nana to recite the whole thing, and we can listen to it and learn from that. We'll take
There
it forward.
also Sangha Chatvam will be required, Brahmaraji. Alone, I mean, learning together
Okay.
is joy.
Yeah, that is true. We'll see. We'll work towards making it happen. I think all of us undoubtedly in these last few years that we've been together have improved not only in our pronunciation, Sanskrit and chanting, so that refining is happening already. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.
So this Lalita Sahasranama, when are we going to have it, Dr. Ramana?
That is tentatively from 21st of May. I'll
Okay,
put up
is
the
it going to
schedule.
be?
Yeah, I'll put up the schedule in the group.
The timing, I just wanted
Yes,
to know.
yes.
Anyway,
The details
okay,
will
good,
come.
good.
I'll put it up in the group.
No problem.
Thank you.
असङ्गोऽहम् असङ्गोऽहम् पुनः पुनः सच्चिदानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः नित्यशुद्धविमुक्तोऽहम् निराकारोऽहमव्ययः भूमानन्दस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः निरोऽहम् निरवध्योऽहम् निराकारोऽहमच्युतः परमानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः शुद्धचैतन्यरूपोऽहम् आत्मा रामोऽहमेव च अखण्डानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रत्यक्षचैतन्यरूपोऽहम् शान्तोऽहम् प्रकृतेः परः शाश्वतानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तत्त्वातीतपरात्माहम् मध्यातीतः परशिवः मायातीतपरञ्ज्योतिः अहमेवाहमव्ययः नानारूपव्यतीतोऽहम् चिदाकारोऽहमच्युतः सुखरूपस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः माया तत्कार्यदेहादि मम नास्त्येव सर्वदा स्वप्रकाशैकरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः गुणत्रयव्यतीतोऽहम् ब्रह्मादीनां च साक्ष्यहम् अनन्तानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः अन्तर्ज्योतिस्वरूपोऽहम् कूटस्थः सर्वगोऽस्म्यहम् सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः द्वन्द्वादिसाक्षिरूपोऽहम् अचलोऽहं सनातनः सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रज्ञानघन एवाहम् विज्ञानघन एव च अकर्ताहम् अभोक्ताहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः निराधारस्वरूपोऽहम् सर्वाधारोऽहमेव च आप्तकामस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तापत्रयविनिर्मुक्तः देहत्रयविलक्षणः अवस्थात्रयसाक्ष्यस्मि अहमेवाहमव्ययः दृग्दृश्यौ द्वौ पदार्थौ स्तः परस्परविलक्षणौ दृग्ब्रह्मदृश्यं मायेति सर्ववेदान्तडिण्डिमः अहं साक्षीति यो विद्यात् विविच्यैवं पुनः पुनः स एव मुक्तः स विद्वान् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः घटकुड्यादिकं सर्वं मृत्तिकामात्रमेव च तद्वद्ब्रह्म जगत्सर्वम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः ब्रह्म सत्यं जगन्मिथ्या जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः अनेन वेद्यं सच्छास्त्रम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः अन्तर्ज्योति बहिर्ज्योतिः प्रत्यग्ज्योतिः परात्परः ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम् ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम्